compare and contrast that and kick off our worst of lists as we go around to some of the worst movies and contrast that to the Disney live action Pinocchio, which literally there's a spot in the film where Pinocchio stops dumbfounded while he's looking at like crap on the road. And I'm like, it's quite the metaphor that you do this actually in the film. It's such a garbage film on a beloved classic. It's just embarrassing at every level. And then to be shown up this late in the game by this Del Toro adaptation is the best. It's like, sweetness. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. So Ironcaster, let's go back to you. What is some of the worst or one of the worst ones that you'd want to make sure we included on the list?
Thor Love and Thunder, easy. It was the movie. I saw that. I threw my hands up and said, no, I am done. I am not going to see any more of these MCU films. I'm done. We're done. We're walking away. I don't care what they do to Doctor Strange. I don't care what they do to Thor anymore. I don't care what they do to freaking Spider-Man anymore. I'm not going to movie theaters. I'm not watching any more of these. I'm done.
I'm with you. I understand. Loki, what about you?
Uncharted. Okay, so
wow.
I was a huge Uncharted fan. I loved those games, man. I got lost. That second game, I got lost in that second game. The third game, I mean, they're almost all of them are good. But that second game was just gold. And I remember playing the hell out of that and getting absolutely baked on my couch playing that game and just losing time. You lose hours of your life going into that game. And then they just shit on it, and they shit on the lore, kind of like what they did with Halo. And you're just like, yeah, you know what? You get what you deserve. Oh, well, it's just another video game adaptation that only made $140 million. It could have been great. It could have been absolutely epic if it was cast right, if it was written right, if they bothered caring about it one iota. It could have been great. And instead, this is just a quick, oh, well, we've got to deal with Sony to come out with so many of these movies a year. So we're going to make so many game movies a year. This is one of them. We'll get the people to come in and we'll get people for the roles, but we don't really give a shit about being accurate or being right. And some people thumb their noses at that. You know what? Let them eat failure. Let them absolutely eat failure.
Yeah. Bobby asked about Pauly Shore's Pinocchio film. I have no idea what that is. I really don't even know. So I'll take a hard pass on whatever that is with Pauly Shore in it. So it will come back. Chris will come back. As far as worst movies, there are so many that are not sort of in our genre film category that I would put in this list, from films like Don't Worry, Darling and Not Okay and The Independent. The worst one for me is called the 355. It's an all-female actioner. And my review stops at about 45 minutes in the film because I says, this is so bad, there's no reason for me to carry on. You know how YouTubers get criticized for criticizing a movie they didn't actually watch? Oh, no, I tried to watch. And literally it had me stop. It was literally in the same category as this guy's Tubi recommendation, which stopped me hardcore. Like, I'm not going on. It literally is just so bad with these big name actors, actresses. And I'm supposed to take this movie seriously, and it's that bad. So I can easily go on with a bad list. My notes on good list was pretty short, and then my note on bad, I could probably have 20. Like, it was it was really easy to come up with like a really bad. And what's weird, and this is the last thing I want to do before we leave movies behind, isn't it unnerving when you have people who might even respect a little bit do like a best of list, and they have films that are on that crap list for you? You're like, what did you see? Like, I don't get it. Like, it's so weird to me. Loki, you get that? You get that like list, like for people going off on their best list, and you're like, that movie was dog crap.
Oh, absolutely. I saw someone praising Halloween Ends the other day, and I want to tell you something.
Oh my God.
There's no worse offender of ending a trilogy in failure this year than Halloween Ends, because those first two movies, you know what, you can say what you want about the first movie. They were setting things up. It still had some of the best, goriest, nastiest, I'm gonna split you in half and leave you on a bathroom floor with your teeth falling out moments in slasher movie history. The second was absolutely insane. And if it hadn't have been for Jamie Lee Curtis running her mouth about the hospital scene and comparing it to, oh, well, we put that in there because of January 6th, when it had already been filmed before that. It was just her talking out of her ass. You have some of the greatest kills, some of the best moments. You've got Michael Myers tearing it apart left and right. And then they bring him back as this like lung cancer patient that can't kill anything just so Jamie Lee Curtis can kill him. I mean, that's
they don't
pretty
have
much
any explanation of any of these
no
things. Like it's so badly done. It's just, yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I said that would be part of the reason too, is like you said, it just like it kills the momentum, because Halloween Kills has its own set of issues, and I couldn't agree more with people who don't like that film, and it does not hold up well. Like you talk about a film that maybe you like when you first watch it, you watch it again. Each time you watch it, you're going to hate it more and more. Just
no, I don't get. I had the same problem with Logan. I couldn't stand huffy puffy Wolverine that could barely breathe and couldn't run like a quarter mile without being like. I had the exact same problem with Logan. So I compare those two films like they're right next to each other, because that's the way I see it. So disagree with me, agree with me, whatever.
No, Ironcaster, some other worst movies or thoughts on people having lists and they kind of shock you on your list. Like there's a notable person in kind of the fandom that we kind of subscribe to who put like their best of list included things like Prey, and I'm like, you are really reading into that film's positives to look past all of its shortcomings. Like, holy crap, that's a crazy perspective on that film. Like, there's a lot of that kind of stuff going around with some of these best of lists and good movies of the year kind of thing.
Well, I mean, on the subject of Prey, it wasn't the worst movie I've seen. I mean, this year has certainly shown that there are a lot worse ones out there. It was like a 6. I just kind of in hindsight, it's like a 6.5, 7. I'm like, it's okay. The tomahawk with the rope on it is silly, but it didn't offend my morals ultimately.
Yeah, we had a pretty extensive breakdown on that. I think we stand all about the same, where it's the middle end of the road is on the high end. ZBR adds Wakanda Forever, and talk about a movie that broke me, ZBR. Talk about a movie of just stupidity on top of stupidity. I forgot to check today to see if my video was ever released, because we did a live stream on that and they took it down. It's been in copyright flag in review for a month, so we'll see. And Ironcaster, they wanted to know about your Marvel objection. Do you have any curiosity left of Guardians 3?
I mean, as much as I would like to see Guardians 3, with James Gunn leaving, like, I feel like the best is kind of behind us. So this is kind of going to be the farewell to all that. And like, we're setting up more movies down the road that where James Gunn won't be there, where half this cast is presumably not going to be there. I mean, they certainly don't want to keep paying Chris Pratt.
They're not under contract. Yeah.
Right. So it's like,
no, I couldn't agree. I saw that trailer when it's like, all I saw was Zootopia. I just can't get past it. I'm like, I can't do it. It's crazy.
Oh, so much so I haven't even bothered to watch the trailer. I have no interest in watching a Guardians 3. I'm more curious to see what James Gunn is going to do over at DC.
Yeah. Can I bring up one more movie before we move on?
Let's do an extension of what you said, because Chris Perch is agreeing with you about Logan. Said, considering I collected the Old Man Logan comic book, this movie is a major injustice. Amen to that, Chris Persia. Amen to that. And of course, Brandon's piling on with woke kinda for never, and Dean Krantz is popping in here. So hey, you, Dean. Go ahead, Loki.
I think a lot of people have forgotten about this. That this came out this year, but The Matrix Resurrection made $33 million domestically. You want to talk about one of the biggest absolute bombs of the year. And they even talk about in the movie not bringing it back, but having absolutely no choice, because, the corporations control everything and it's up to them now. I thought, and even Keanu Reeves is sitting there in their own movies, and I thought they couldn't do that. And it's just, you want to talk about an absolute shit show. You want to talk about jumping the shark. This was one of the biggest trilogies of the modern era, and they convoluted it and screwed it up because they're greedy little bitches that have no idea how to run a franchise anymore.
Yeah, Ryan is trying to promote the Gunverse, aka the DCFU. Look like Ryan. Right now, I'm not really that interested. I'm kind of off the train right now until proven otherwise. Dean also says, my opinion and worth what you pay for it. MCU and DCEU have well and truly jumped the shark. My standout film of the year, though, has to be Samaritan. Oh, interesting choice, Dean. I would not agree with you there, but hey, to each their own. Yeah, I did not care for Samaritan that much, to be honest.